Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm Jonathan Friedman in the studio today. My next guest with me is Barry Ouellette. Barry from Ouellette Productions. Barry, how are you?
I'm very good, Jonathan. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about you, about your business, what it is you guys do?
Well, basically, I am a full-service video production company. I mostly deal in corporate video, corporate communications of various forms. I'm a writer, I'm a producer, I'm a director. I have a stable of shooters, editors, animators. So basically, any kind of communication that somebody needs for business and even for advertising, we can take care of.
Interesting. How long has your business been around? How long?
Well, I'm actually entering into this component. I've just started this one up. I used to have another production company, which I ran for 13 years. Then I went inside and I worked at a couple of corporations and a production company. So now I'm back out on my own, which is a much more freeing environment, as we all know, as entrepreneurs.
The entrepreneur pull.
Exactly.
So what has changed? I mean, I imagine a lot over the last decade or so as far as not only video production, but in terms of technology and the do-it-yourselfers, and everybody wants to be a YouTube star. And
Exactly. Well, it's interesting because when you look back at the initial days of video production, if you went to do shooting, you'd be using a $50,000, $60,000 camera, or several of them, depending on what you were doing. You would go to a video production facility where you'd be in an editing suite that would have cost at least $1 million to put together just to get something out the door.
Huge barriers of entry.
Exactly. Today, a MacBook Pro, a prosumer camera, and basically anybody can be in the video business. And, there are good things about that and there are bad things about that. The bad things obviously are that you're sometimes sacrificing experience because somebody can come in and do something for cheaper than you would normally quote for it, and that gets in the way. But that was even in existence 20 years ago. So I mean, any entrepreneur faces that scenario. How do you price yourself, and how do you compete against other people?
I would imagine that one of the values that you bring to the table is, as you talked about, you're a writer, and you can certainly shoot and edit. Technology allows you to do that, but the creative process really hasn't changed dramatically.
No, it hasn't. It's always in the script, no matter what you do. And it's funny because a lot of people think, well, script means that I have to have a piece of paper and it's got to be split in a couple of columns and have narration and whatnot. That's not always the case. For a writer like myself, I think in pictures. And when I first got into this business, I thought everybody thought in pictures. It was natural. It was only when I found out that they didn't that I discovered that I had a knack for something that I could build into a career. And, the writing process comes from taking all of the media that's available, including interviews with people, including visual imagery that you can pull up, and putting it together into a package that people can understand.
Do people, clients, prospects typically come to you with a concept, and then it's up to you to develop the full process, or how does that typically work?
Well, it's
or is there anything that is typical?
Nothing is typical. Like any other business, nothing is typical. Some people may have an idea, and they'll want me to execute it. Some people will come and say, I need a corporate video. I need a video to make my organization look good, or we've just had some changes in the organization. We've had to lay off some people and do some reorganization. We'd like to put something together so that the rest of the employees feel good and feel like they're valuable and that the company is going to stay there. Other people will have a flat-out concept. I mean, years ago, it used to be that people would want to do a takeoff on Star Trek or Star Wars or the Twilight Zone.
Theme-oriented types of videos.
Exactly. Years ago, we used to use a lot of actors for pieces. Today, it's more talking heads and interviews, although I still love working with actors. In fact, right down the street here, actually in this building, is a casting company that I've used several times before. But it's really all over the map, and the thing I bring to it is, again, I'm a writer, so I can conceptualize, I can come up with a big picture. All I need really is for people to give me the information, tell me who the audience is and what they'd like to promote, and then give me people that I can talk to.